In this video, we're going to review the food and drink options at the Excellence in Playa Mujeres. And if you're new to our channel, 3 Days and Tres Noches is not a travel vlog or a travel agency. We just bring you real, honest, to the point information and reviews about the travel destinations that we go to and show you that you can have an amazing vacation in a short amount of time. And definitely check out the entire video series that we do on the Excellence Playa Mujeres, including a complete honest review. Now, overall, I gave the food a rating between a 7 and an 8, which is typical for an all-inclusive resort. However, I was really hoping for a higher rating since this resort had a higher rating and it really cost us the most of any resort that we've been to. With that being said, I also mentioned that it might not be the fairest review when it comes to rating the food here because we were only there for 3 nights, which is why I wanted to make another video just outlining all of the dining options and the drink options so you can decide for yourself if you think this might be the right resort for you when it comes to food and drinks. This resort has 12 different dining options, so you can see why it was impossible for me to get to all of those in my 3-night stay. So let's start with breakfast, and the first option, which was the most popular option, was the breakfast buffet located in the kitchen table, which is also the Italian restaurant at night. And it does get busy, so during peak hours, you do have to wait a little bit. I think we had to wait maybe 15 or 20 minutes, which wasn't too bad. But they really do have everything and anything that you would want. Lots of made-to-order items. They have a little section with Mexican cuisine. So I really enjoyed the breakfast buffet a lot. Bloody Mary station and a mimosa station. My answer is yes. They have a few a la carte options for breakfast as well. One was at the Lobster House, which we loved. It was one of our favorites. And then they also have one at the Magna restaurant if you are an Excellence Club member.
When you are a member of the Excellence Club, you get to have breakfast a la carte here at it's called Magna. So it's a little bit nicer, a little bit more higher end. If you want something a little bit more quiet, that's what we're trying out.
And they also have 24-hour room service, and you do not have to upgrade to get this amenity. So anyone can use it, and we didn't do it this time, but our friends ordered room service and they really liked it. They said it was great. And then finally, they have a really great little coffee shop called Aroma. It does get really busy in the morning, but they have coffees and juices, yogurts, that type of thing if you just want something grab and go. Now it's time for lunch, and while they did have a lot of different options for lunch, one of the big disappointments for me at this resort was the fact that they did not have a main lunch buffet. So let's start at Las Olas, where they did offer a semi-lunch buffet, and it was located right here on the beach. I would call this more of a mini buffet because they did have a few hot dishes. They had some made-to-order items like burgers. They had pizza and french fries and wings. And then they did have a little mini salad bar over at the end. So even though this was a buffet, I personally was missing the full lunch buffet experience where you have a huge salad bar, you have some other made-to-order options, and just more options in general. However, the location of Las Olas is truly amazing right there on the beach, and you don't find that at too many all-inclusive resorts. And if you do not want to get out of your beach chair, you can actually eat lunch right on the beach. You can order it there. They will bring it to you. They will also do that at the pool as well. They also have a brick oven pizza, which is over by Las Olas and right near the entertainment pool, so you can order made-to-order pizzas right there. And I have to say they were pretty good, not as good as the pizza that I had in the Italian restaurant, which I'll show you later. The rest of your options for lunch are, of course, room service is always an option, or the a la carte restaurants. So the first day that we ate there, we ate at the Grill, which is located right next to the Lobster House, so closer to the beach area. And it has a selection of salads and tacos and typical bar and grill food. We also tried the Italian restaurant one day for lunch, which was actually really good, even though I was disappointed that there wasn't a main buffet. It was amazing service. There wasn't a lot of people there, and the food and the salads and everything was really good. The only place that we didn't get to try for lunch was the sports bar. So they do have a sports bar as well at this resort, which is located kind of in the back of the resort. And so it is the typical burgers, fries, wings, those types of things. And it serves both lunch and dinner. So which leads us to dinner. And let's go over the different dinner options that you have at this resort. And they are all a la carte. So the first night we ate at the Italian restaurant, which is usually one of my favorites when I go to an all-inclusive resort. And I love that we didn't have to wait for a table. It wasn't very crowded. The service was impeccable. It was absolutely amazing. The food I would say was pretty good, maybe like an 8. I loved my pizza. The pizza was outstanding. The salads were really good. The lamb dish wasn't that great, but they had a ton of different options on the menu.
It's our second night here. We're here at the Lobster House, which is one of the restaurants that's closer to the ocean. It's their seafood option, and we're going to see how it is.
So the Lobster House was by far our favorite meal at the resort. My friends got the risotto. They loved it. I had the salmon, which is outstanding. They even offer lobster tail, and you do not have to pay an additional fee, which is unusual at an all-inclusive resort. Usually it costs extra to get the lobster. And on the final night, we ate at Chez Isabelle, which is their French restaurant. This was our least favorite. So even though the service and the ambiance were great, the food was just average, even a little bit below average. Now, Flavor Market is open during dinner hours, but I would consider this more a tapas restaurant. So, in fact, after the French restaurant, we were still hungry because we didn't like the food. So we went down to Flavor Market. Really didn't see a lot there, but it is your later night option. It's open until midnight. So 2 of the restaurants we did not get to was Basmati, which was the Indian restaurant, and Agave, which was the Mexican restaurant. And they are supposedly 2 of the best restaurants there. So which is why I mentioned earlier that our review of the food might not be the fairest. However, the Agave restaurant was closed when we were there. So this resort is under renovation right now. So just keep that in mind when you are booking. You might want to call and see what is open, what is not open. The spa was closed as well when we were there. If you've upgraded to the Excellence Club, you also have the option to go to Magna for dinner. So again, that is up in the Excellence Club. We did not make it there, but it's another option for dinner if you've upgraded. So a few final tips and thoughts about the food here. One is make sure you check for the dress code because many of the restaurants at night do require some type of dress code. Also, there's not a lot of late night options here to eat. So for instance, even the coffee shop, we were hoping for some late night ice cream, closed at 10, which brings me to downloading the app versus the website. So the website doesn't seem to have all of the accurate information. So make sure you download that app because it's going to have the most up-to-date information and the hours that all of the restaurants are open. So overall, like I mentioned, the food was between a 7 and an 8 out of 10 for us at this resort. I think the biggest disappointment was the fact that they didn't have that really large lunch buffet, which might cause me not to return to this resort because it's one thing that I really look forward to. And that's just my personal preference. However, you will read the reviews and a lot of people loved the food, especially the 2 restaurants that we didn't get to. Now, real quickly, let's go over the drinks. And this definitely was one of my favorite drink and bar experiences at any resort that we've been to. Now, this resort had the largest selection of top shelf liquors of any resort that we had been to. So that's one reason why we loved it. We also upgraded to the Excellence Club, so we had even more choices. But even without upgrading, you really did get one of the best selections I've ever seen. It was also very apparent that all of the bartenders were very experienced, so they could make almost any drink that you asked for, and you never really had to wait long for a drink as well. They also had amazing poolside and beachside service as well, so literally you could find a drink everywhere and anywhere. And like I mentioned, we also upgraded to the Excellence Club, so that gave us access to the Excellence Lounge. Now, it was a little bit out of the way. I wish that it was closer to our rooms, but they did make some of the best margaritas that I've ever had at any resort, actually at any restaurant I've ever been to. So maybe a few downsides would be is that they only had one swim-up bar, so that was at the entertainment pool. So if you're someone that loves, to have a bunch of different swim up bars to go to. They only had one. So they do not have a nightclub at this resort. They do have a lot of nightlife, but the bars at night stay open only till 1 a.m. I think the sports bar might have stayed open till 2 a.m. But that didn't really affect us because I go to bed early. But if you're someone who likes to stay out late, party late, that might affect you. I also love that if you upgraded to the Excellence Club, you actually had a full bar in your room as well. So you could go back and make drinks late night if you wanted to do that. I also wanted to mention that I think the website needs to be updated. So again, just make sure you download that app for the latest information in terms of what's open and the hours. Also, they post all of the menus, including the drink menus, on there as well. So I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, please like and subscribe. And make sure you check out the entire series that we do on the Excellence Playa Mujeres.